are penalties for that, etc. So that's really good. So instead of queuing up the music, okay, let's go right to our Rockstars of the Week, right?
That was a great version of Layla. Erica Clapton would be proud.
Thank you very, very much. Okay. So John and Joan came in to visit with us. They're 58 years old. Interesting is their recent transplants to St. Louis, like many of us are. And Joan, when she left her previous employer, she decided not to look for new work.
I like that.
Etc. Her husband still is continuing work. They're both 58 years old. But they're not happy.
John is not happy.
John's not happy, and now that Joan's begin to make this transition for about 6 months from working to retirement, she's like,
I want my playmate.
Exactly. Very nicely put. I want my favorite playmate. So let's talk a little about their situation. Again, they're 58, so we know that they're not eligible for Social Security benefits.
Not for a while.
And they also don't have pension.
Or health insurance.
Or health.
This is a lot.
Well, actually, yeah.
Well, they have health insurance, but if John leaves, they won't.
Right, exactly. So we're talking about the double whammy, right?
That's right.
Replacing that income, doing it for a period before Social Security benefits are eligible. And obviously one of their questions was, when is the right time for us to take Social Security? Should we do it effectively, quick? Should we do it when we become eligible, or should we wait till normal retirement age? We're going to run through some numbers today.
This is going to be good.
No, I think it's going to be good. We're going to keep them nice and round, and hopefully the concepts will come through for those folks that are listening. And truly, the neat part about this is exactly what we do on the board. I mean, we did this right in front of Joan, and she got a little tearful
because it was so exciting.
Well, it really was exciting. I mean, it was neat because she and John really didn't feel like the realization was there that they could do this. They just needed to see the algebra.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. So John right now today has a very nice job. He's making about $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year gross. But his net pay
is $7,000 a month,
which is normal. He's basically running at about between 60 and 70% because he's putting a ton of money into his 401k.
Good savers.
Great savers. They've been doing this for years, and they're also saving another $1,000 a month at home. So they're really great savers. Are putting away money in their piggy bank. Their true spending came down to be about $6,000 a month.
Okay.
So we know that we naturally have to gross that number up for taxes.
So it's
and we're actually too expensive now that we do, but we use a 25% number, including federal and state. So the total again for them instead of being $6,000,
$7,000.
Right, we took them up to $7,000 a month,
which means they need $84,000 a year.
Yes. So that being the case, what we like to do is we like to say let's start backwards. Let's start from normal retirement age. Let's just assume that we make the decision that we're going to hold off of our spending. Hold off of taking Social Security until normal retirement age. Mm-hmm. Therefore, what we might have to do is we might have to then begin to obviously pull down assets or income front end, and the question then becomes what's left. So again, working through their numbers, they needed $7,500 a month. We know that between him and her, their normal retirement Social Security benefits were running about $5,500. So in reality, they needed about $2,000 a month.
Only $2,400 a year.
$24,000 a year.
I'm
right?
Sorry. Yeah.
And so, Aaron, when we're doing our calculations, saying how much capital do we need at that particular moment, and then making a prudent withdrawal, how much capital do we need to make that income goal?
So if we're prudently withdrawing, we say that's about a 4% withdrawal rate.
Right.
So we'll need $600,000 of capital in order to continuously throw off that 4% of $24,000 a year.
Right, and we call that the milk money.
That's right.
That really is the milk money. So those are the assets that we need to make sure are going to be reasonably safe and secure. Those that are actually responsible for creating the income that you need. So when they get to 67,
we know we need $600,000.
Okay, but that's almost 10 years away.
Yeah, they got a ways to go.
It's a long time. So let's go back and look at let's look at 62.
Social Security.
Right, which might be something to consider. Again, using the same number, they basically their net need was about $3,000 a month. At that point, instead of $2,000, they need $36,000 a year. So the milk money they would need if they took Social Security at that point goes from $600,000
to $900,000.
So that's the amount of capital they really would need to have.
Right, because they lose about $1,500 a month.
Right.
Combined in Social Security benefits by taking them at 62 versus 67.
And obviously, as the guaranteed income base is lower, the capital that we need outside would be greater, and so that's about $900,000. So what that tells us now is we've got a 4-year period between today and when they're eligible for age 62. using the same numbers that we've been using the entire time. $84,000 a year. They basically, for 4 years, they need about $336,000. So, kind of putting these numbers together in a interesting way. They need $336,000 of capital / income that we were going to consume on the front end to get them to normal retirement age. At that point, they need $900,000. So, in other words, if they had basically $1.23 million of assets,
they will be fine.
They would be in a position they'd be okay. Well, good news is.
Oh my gosh! The good news is they have $2 million.
Right. They had $1.8 million
in retirement assets and about $200,000 in others.
That's right. So in that case, woohoo! They were rock stars. Rock
stars.
The question becomes, what if
they waited?
They waited. Okay. So in other words, we know that if they waited, we'd have to have another $336,000, right?
That's right. So that's almost $1 million. Or I'm sorry, that's $660,000.
Right, 333,666. Right. So double it. So, but they still need $600,000 in Milton.
But they have $2 million.
But they had $2 million. So what's really cool is that they're in a position where woohoo!
They could decide at any point between 62 and 67 to either say we want to stop pulling from our retirement assets and turn on Social Security, or we don't want Social Security until later.
Or we take one and let the other one grow.
Exactly, and unfortunately they were both born after 1954, so they don't have the nice options that Paula was able and her husband were able to take advantage of.
Yes.
But they still have, because they were such excellent savers, they have a lot of choices.
Sure, they do. So what's neat is that that realization at that moment, our confidence in the fact that we could assist them in getting there, really helped them. It was a little tearful moment. That was fun.
It was nice.
And so, we'll be visiting with them again to say, okay, now let's talk about laying out the game plan for not only the investment modeling to get this done, but also the cash flow and how that's going to happen as well. And that's again, that second step of the process. So, having this laid out in front of you, frankly, being able to see the numbers, having time to let this kind of sink in, gave them, I think, some clarity, but also really confirmed some of the thinking that they had and their hopes.
And I also think that many people come into the office thinking they have one choice. They have to make the decision now, and they only have one option. Do I take it or do I not take it? And I think the nice thing is about having a coaching session or going to see someone is that hopefully they're opening up that there are a lot of different options available to you, so that takes the pressure off each decision. Because really they have every day between 62 and 67 to make the decision, are they taking Social Security or not.
Right, and we did recently see a change in the Social Security laws.
Yes.
And who knows between now and 62 whether the laws could change again.
There's always a possibility, because we had game plans set up for many clients using the old system, and for many of them that's not going to work. So we had to go back to the drawing board.
And again, in their particular situation, whether the rules are changed or not, especially in terms of early, et cetera, if they were to maybe increase the penalties or if they were to extend, et cetera, we know they're not going to be affected.
Right, exactly, because they have so many choices.
So that's fun. I mean, and that was really fun with John and Joan.
John and Joan.
It was really fun to meet them and deal with them last week. And frankly, Paula's meeting was kind of neat.
Sorry I missed that one.
Well,
that's why we never take vacations together.
Right.
So there's someone available.
That's nice, honey. I thought you were going to say you're too old to be with your dad.
It's about the client.
Okay, not about us paying for the vacation.
Look at the sacrifices I'm making for the client.
Yes.
I have to pay for my own vacation.
Well, that's why I didn't go on the helicopter ride.
And I truly appreciate that.
Yeah. I could have just
I could have
texted you from there. Aaron, hey, check this out. No.
That would have required you to have your phone with you.
It certainly would. And what it would require us also to do is take our second break of the hour.
Perfect.
We'll be right back with some more, hopefully with some more fun talk.